Up on today's episode, vegetarian Mexican burrito bowl. This dish is awesome. Flavors all over the place. Look at these sweet Mexican black beans. Rice, veggies, oh yeah.
Don't want cherries at the bottom of the tree. I want the ones just out of my reach. The ones that sit the closest to the heat of the sun. They ain't available to everyone. I wanna have to work for the fruit.
Let's get right into our vegetarian burrito bowl. This is gonna be so delicious. The first thing we wanna do is build a tray of veg to fire into the oven, okay? So let's start cutting veggies. I'm gonna start off with the yams. I'm gonna peel it just where there's blemishes and leave the rest of the skin on. I love the skin, I love the texture. No need to waste any veg. Cut this in half, like so, and then 2 strips like that, and then we're ready to cube it. Nice and consistent, they're all relatively the same size. So let's go ahead and build our first row here on our tray. Okay, next up, red pepper. Start by cutting it in half. We'll remove the seeds and the veins. I always like to maintain that tidy space, you know, clean as I go. Let's just go ahead and dice these large, okay? Like that. So line them up now, and then we've got our perfect large dice on the peppers. We'll get them onto the tray. Next up is red onion. Let's keep rolling. We're just gonna build this tray, all right? So with the onions, I'm going to cut the top and the bottom off. I'm gonna cut it in half, and then that's gonna make life much easier in terms of peeling. So just like that, my onion's peeled. And what I'm gonna do is, you guessed it, large dice on the red onion as well. So, like so, I've got the cuts that way, and then boom. That's our next layer on our tray. Okay, now we're going to make some sweet Mexican chili black beans, all right? So we've got cooked black beans here, about 1.5 cups, a can's worth. If you want to cook from dried black beans, that's cool too. You don't need too much. About, you know, half of a can or half of a cup of uncooked black beans will yield you about 1.5 cups of the cooked black beans, equal to about a can. So what we're gonna do is liberally pour in this sweet Mexican chili sauce to give these black beans an epic flavor. So we're gonna go ahead and make sure that's nicely tossed. By the way, the oven is already smoking hot. We're gonna get everything roasting really quickly here and build this burrito bowl really quick. I've also got some rice on the go, and I'm using sushi rice. I love the texture of sushi rice. So let's bring this all together. This is almost ready to go into the oven. The last thing I'm gonna do is chop some garlic, season, oil, and fire, all right? So we're gonna chop up our garlic now. I've got 4 cloves already peeled. And we're just going to make sure this doesn't get chopped too fine. Nice big chunks of garlic. I love chunky garlic. Okay, so let's just scatter that garlic around everywhere. Let's go ahead and drizzle a little bit of avocado oil on everything. Okay, move that, just a little bit of shaking like that does the trick. And then we're gonna season it with our sweet, smoky heat. This stuff is just dynamite. It's got a nice bit of heat, a little bit of sweetness to it, cumin, spices, it does it all. The rice is doing its thing, it's almost finished. We're gonna let those veggies roast under the broiler, and in the meantime, let's get a couple more garnishes done for our burrito bowl. It's gonna be delicious. So some sliced avocado is always nice. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut into the avocado and spin it around the knife like so, and boom, perfect avocado. So what we're gonna do now is just a little tap right onto that pit, and you can twist it right out. The final step is to cut like so, and your avocados cut into perfect pieces. And we're just ready to scoop that out with a spoon. So we'll come back to that in a second. We're gonna get a little bit of green onion garnish. So finely sliced. And all this is gonna come together. It's gonna be really, really beautiful. Now we're doing this vegetarian style. You could put roasted chicken in just how I did those black beans. A little bit of chicken with some of the sweet Mexican chili on the tray. Delicious, so good. And let's chop a couple of these tomatoes up as well. I think just in half is perfect. Nice little bite size, that fresh burst. How good does that look? Smells fantastic. To me, looks delicious. What do you say? I think that's gonna create some beautiful elements for our burrito bowl. Let's get into it. Let's start with the rice. We wanna fill our bowl up with rice, okay? So, as mentioned, we've got this beautiful sticky rice here. Fantastic option for me for a burrito bowl. And now, you know, you could just kind of scatter everything around, but I like to compartmentalize, and then you can kind of, you know, take your bites as you will, right? So let's go ahead and just start building sections here. Everything's nicely seasoned. We've got that garlic mixed into everything. So a little bit of peppers, a little bit of yams, the roasted onions and the black beans. And now we get to play with our final garnishes. Let's go ahead and scoop some of these avocado right out of the skin there. And what I can do is I can kind of fan this across like so. Some green onion, and then the final touch, a little bit more of that sweet Mexican chili sauce just kind of drizzled on top, because that's going to provide the punch, the flavor, give some great seasoning onto that rice. There you have it. If you like the look of my vegetarian burrito bowl, like the video, share it with a friend, and subscribe to our channel. Recipes in the description. See you next time.
Available to everyone. I wanna have to work for the fruit I get. Kinda like struggle.